Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another College and Career Pathways, where every Monday and Wednesday and Friday at 2 p.m. we provide you with information on various colleges and universities, financial aid resources, training programs, technical schools, skilled trade professions, career readiness skills, all designed to help you make the best career decisions possible. I'm Toni Cureton, your host, and today we are with Focus Hope. They have a lot of great programs and opportunities at Focus Hope. Lynn, we are so glad to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Toni. I'm going to share my screen, and thank you so much for having Focus Hope so that we can share with you guys these great opportunities. I just want to confirm if you can see my screen okay. I'll go ahead and go into presentation mode.
Yes, we can.
Okay, fantastic. So again, my name is Lynn Zamora. I'm going to be sharing with you guys a presentation on Focus Hope's workforce development and education training programs and talk to you guys about what we're offering right now. So our current training opportunities are offered online or hybrid learning. These are the different types of trainings that we offer. We offer industrial manufacturing training pathways, information technology pathways, CDL work readiness, and entrepreneurship, which is a new offer I'm going to talk to you guys about today, and construction. And so we would encourage everybody who gets this information, don't keep it to yourself, share it with your family and friends, because chances are you know somebody who is either transitioning in their career or looking to do something new and they need skills and credentials. And that's exactly what you're going to get with training at Focus Hope. So we'll start off talking about our Manufacturing Pathways program. Right now, this program is offered completely online with virtual classroom as well as online simulations to prepare you for the real world. We do the first 2-week training, which is high-low in logistics. You're going to be getting your OSHA 10 certification as well as a high-low certification. So you're going to learn how to safely operate forklift. The OSHA 10 certification is Michigan OSHA 10-hour safety training, which is contextualized. This is a great certification that employers love because a lot of times when you come into a manufacturing or a warehousing position, they want to get you up to speed on safety protocols. And a lot of times they will also offer this certification. So to be coming through the door with that already on your resume and already achieve that is definitely a step up. You also will be getting some manufacturing training that is focused on CNC, which is computer numeric control. And those are those big machines that you see in machine shops where you will be inputting coordinates to create parts. And so everything that you pretty much see, you know, from anything in your home that you point out, you know, it usually had to have a machine creating it. And so you will be that skilled person who is operating those machines. You'll get some credentials through the National Institute of Metalworking Skills. Right now for the online course, you're getting the NIMS Material Measurement and Safety. You're also getting Automation and Design, which is an introduction to robotics and introduction to welding. You'll be getting a credential through FANUC, which is called Handling Tools and Operations Programming Certification. And so this is great for someone who is, you know, if you have a background in manufacturing, but needs some certifications to really boost your hiring potential, or someone who has no experience in manufacturing. We welcome people at all different experience levels for this course. This just gives you a little bit more details on the types of training that you're going to be doing. The online breakup will be slightly different. It may be 5 weeks in the beginning with the logistics training, 5 weeks for the CNC, and 5 weeks for automation and design. It is broke up a little bit differently when you're doing the online course because you're not actually going to be working on the machines. However, one thing to keep in mind for our tactile learners, people who really want to be able to touch materials and work with the machines, we are obviously hoping that in due time we will be able to reopen our campus sooner rather than later. And a part of that will be welcoming you back if you've done an online course to do some hands-on training as well, just so you can feel more confident as you go out into the workforce. Something that's embedded in all of our training that we talk about today are things like computer enrichment and financial literacy, which is making sure that you're comfortable using technology that is associated with the work you do, and also financial literacy, which is I mean, it's a great opportunity to connect you with our financial literacy course, coaches, I should say, to make sure that you know how to manage your money, boost your credit score, set financial goals, because what we're really striving to, get everyone who participates in these training programs to understand is there's a difference between a job and a career. And so we are career focused. Our goal is to get you into a career that has opportunity for growth, to increase your pay rate as your skill set increases. And so a major component of that is making sure that you are financially sound, managing your money, and able to build wealth. Some of the contextualized skills that you get is is blueprint reading, shop math. These things are preparing you for what you're actually going to be doing when you set foot on your job. So CNC programming, getting you fully versed in welding, Mastercam, which is a software that will be loaded onto your devices. We will issue you loaned laptops for the duration of your training so that you can have everything properly set up to be successful in these courses. This is speaking to some of the job opportunities. So there's not one defined career pathway through doing this training, because it is diverse in the skill set that you'll be getting. You could be in CNC programming, a robotics technician, a manufacturing technician, CNC operator, machine operator, general laborer, production worker, forklift operator. You really are in control as far as where you choose to go with your training. I'll speak a little bit more to the supportive services at the end, but we do job placement assistant for all of our training programs. And so we'll be sharing with you employment opportunities when you graduate. And, you're not tied down and obligated to select any one particular job, but we want to make sure that everyone is able to get into the field that they trained in. And so then what we want to talk about are just some of the requirements and things that you can need to know up front to be prepared. You do need to have a high school diploma or a GED for this training. The CASAS assessment is a virtual training that you can do on your smartphone, a tablet, laptop, PC. It's basic reading and basic math. And you would just need to score at about 8th grade level in order to qualify. The class times are Monday through Friday, 9 in the morning to 1:30 in the afternoon. The testing is scheduled Monday through Thursday, both morning and afternoon, to help accommodate people's schedule before they actually register for the class. The second program I want to talk to you guys, this is for the techies out there. This is for people who like working with computers, smartphones, different devices. If you are someone who wants to move into a tech career, this would be the program for you. There's 3 things that it encompasses for this, and they're each in 5-week segments. So it's a 15-week course. So you do get IT fundamentals, you get your certified business professional certification in customer service. You do small office, home office training, which gets you your CompTIA A+. And then one of our newer offerings is 5-week training essentials in Python, programming essentials. So you would be getting your certification in Python, which is a programming language. So some of the things that you learn through Core 1, which is the first 5-week, 150-hour course, things like how to install and configure a PC system. You're going to learn a lot about, how to deal with both internal and external customers. So external being, if you're working for a company and people call in needing help to configure their devices, or they're having problems and may need you to remote in. Your customers that are within your organization are your colleagues. So you may be, let's say you're working for Focus Hope and you're on our IS team, and I have to email you because my work laptop is having problems. So you're somebody who is going to be solving problems, somebody who's going to be troubleshooting. In Core 2, you're kind of building on those things that you learned in the first 5 weeks. So managing multiple operating systems, how to troubleshoot when people have problems with their network connections, how to manage users and workstations, shared resources. You'll also be learning not just how to fix someone's laptop or PC, but mobile devices. You're going to get your CompTIA A+ certification, which is industry recognized. Once you complete that, you'll move on to the final core, which is where you're getting your Python certified entry-level programmer certification. And so you're going to be learning the basic components of programming in Java, Python, C language, general computer programming concepts and techniques. And so I think the really exciting part about this training is that you're starting something new with each core. And so you're building a very diverse skill set that makes you very employable and someone who will be able to demonstrate a mastery of these skills by getting your certifications. And so, this is, like I said, this is a great, if if you're someone who, or someone in your family is that person who likes to tinker with the devices, take things apart, understand how they work. Maybe there's somebody who really wants to get into programming. That's what this program is really going to do for you. And then obviously with that customer service credential that you get through IBTA, customer service is in absolutely everything that we do. And as you see the way we've had to pivot to doing so many things online and virtually, having this type of training is something that is very valuable. So certainly if it's been an interest and something that you enjoy doing, why not consider making a career out of it where you can make very good money and, make yourself somebody who is needed, because IT jobs are only going to become more and more necessary. So we'll talk now about what are the actual job opportunities? What are some of the job titles that you'd be looking at qualifying yourself for? So system administrator, maybe a junior programmer, a desktop administrator, someone who's working as a technician, a service desk analyst, someone who's a computer support specialist, as well as any type of customer service positions, if that's something that you're ultimately interested in. And so something to keep in mind with this is that obviously, when it comes to IT, it is always changing. And so a great thing that I always share with my students who are incoming or just graduating from our course, as you exit and move to employment, one of the great things about being a graduate at Focus Hope is, as we offer this iteration of our IT program, when we continue to update our course offerings and we offer more advanced IT training as graduates of our program, you guys get first dibs. So, if in 2022, we offer additional IT courses that will offer additional certifications and training to qualify you for higher paying jobs, we always encourage you to come back. I have people who graduated a few years ago from our IT program, and when we added this Python course this year, in the latter part of this year, we contacted them like, hey, do you want to get some additional skills and, and a credential behind your name? And they came back and participated. And so that's an awesome opportunity, because when it comes to IT, you're going to constantly be wanting to re-up your skills, re-up your credentials. And so really this is a launching pad for you if IT is something that you're interested in. And then so the requirements for this are similar. So high school diploma or GED are needed, 7th to 9th grade level in reading and math. So in this program, it's not as math heavy, it's more reading comprehension. And so we'd want that reading to be at a 9 and that math can be at about a 7th grade level. These classes are more intensive, because of the content that is covered. So they are full time from 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. And then finally, this is a very, very popular training program. As you guys know, when the pandemic hit, one of the essential positions that never went away and was just in more higher demand than ever were truck drivers, because we needed people to be transporting the essential goods that were flying off the shelves when everybody was panic buying. And so we were talking about a lot of different hands-on training that were completely at a standstill when COVID hit. This was not one of them. The trucking school, our partner, which is primarily U.S. Trucking in Sterling Heights, they did not shut down. They were continually training because the need for people was so high that the training alone was considered essential. And so I'm going to talk to you guys about our traditional CDL offering, as well as something new that we have just started out within the last couple months, which is a fantastic entrepreneurship opportunity. So the first 4 weeks of your training are with Focus Hope online, doing CDL readiness, which we talk about is your preparation. It's prelude to trucking information. It's employability skills. So it's basically making sure that you know exactly what you're getting into, what you can expect, and how to set yourself up for success in this career. The second phase of your training is 4 weeks on site at one of our partner schools. Primarily, it's U.S. Trucking in Sterling Heights. So you do your on-site training at a CDL school, your application to upgrade your license to CDL A. You get your hands-on experience operating a truck, how to do your safety inspections, and just make sure that you're confident before you go and get out onto the road. Obviously, the placement focus with that is getting your commercial driver's license in a Class A. So that's driving the big rigs. And finally, we have a CDL entrepreneurship in logistics and transportation. So this would up your program from 8 to 15 weeks. This is for those who are seeking a CDL license, just like the first class, but we also welcome those who are current CDL holders, because this is focusing on those who want to become owner operators. So this is covering things like supply chain management, planning and management and regulation, transportation systems and infrastructure, communication. And so these are some college level credentials that you will get. And this is just to kind of give you an idea of, the pay range. For those who start out with your CDL A license, just getting started out, you maybe make 45 to 50 to 60,000 a year. With the owner operator small business, you could be making 100 to 150,000 a year. And so I really, since these courses are free, I'm going to talk more about this at the end, but all of these courses are totally free to the participant. Our goal is to get you fully funded, so there is no out-of-pocket cost for any of the training that you're doing. Even if you're kind of on the fence about whether or not entrepreneurship is right for you, getting this information is something that I encourage everybody to take part in, because we're all about, people having the skills to be self-sufficient and the skills to continue to advance in their career. And so this is something new that we've been offering. We've only ran one cohort with the CDL entrepreneurship, and it's been very popular. And so, we're hoping to have some really fantastic success stories to share from this cohort. And so if this is something that sounds like it interests you, then I say, go all the way with it. It's obviously a few extra weeks, but well worth your time. So for this program, there's no high school diploma or GED required for the 8-week course. 6th grade level in reading math is the assessment level that you'd have to be at. Now, if you do want to take advantage of the entrepreneurship, because it would be considered a college level class, you would need to have a diploma or a GED in 7th to 8th grade level on your reading and math. One thing to note is in the state of Michigan, you do have to have a valid driver's license with no suspensions within the last 3 years. And also for this program, while it is felony friendly, they would say no violent felonies within 10 years. Class times are Monday through Friday, 9 in the morning to 1:30 in the afternoon. I also want to talk with you guys about our newest program, which is in the construction trade. It is a 10-week course with 5 weeks virtual training with Focus Hope, preparing you. Some of the things that are included are general, what we call our secret sauce. So things about resume writing, interview preparation and skills, computer basics, financial literacy, and then you will do 5 weeks at the carpentry school. So that's hands-on training. You'll get your OSHA 30 certification. Through the training that you do, we will do, in between these 5 weeks, we will be hosting a hiring event. So you have kind of 2 opportunities. You can go to job placement for a construction focused opportunity, but also for those who want to go further in their career, there is an opportunity to interview for an apprenticeship position at the carpentry school. So obviously that is a great opportunity for people who are career focused, because it is work and school at the same time. So you're going to be doing some on-the-job training and learning. You're going to be earning a wage as well as schooling to get your journeyman credential. So certainly something I encourage everybody to take advantage of. If this is something, we've always been getting phone calls from people like, hey, construction, do you offer construction? And finally we can say yes. This is something that we're offering, as well as all of our classes. We're looking to start in January of 2022. So we are actively enrolling. So if you're interested, I'm going to be providing my contact information at the end, but I certainly encourage, since this one has been a hot topic, that you get involved as soon as possible. For this program, you just need 6th grade level reading and math, a high school diploma or a GED, and the class times are once again 9 to 1:30, Monday through Friday. I also want to talk with you guys about our supportive services and job placement, because a big part of what we do is really taking a holistic approach in how we work with students. All of our programs are 18 and up. So it's programs for adults. There's no cost for any of the training program. The only thing that we are asking of you is your time and commitment. So in understanding that, we know that people have lives outside of Focus Hope. And so there's many things that can come up throughout the duration of a program. There may be things right now that, you know, when you hear about what is required in the class hours and the participation, that you may be intimidated by. So there's things that we do as far as removing barriers, such as transportation. You know, maybe you need assistance with finding stable housing, clothing that is work appropriate or interview appropriate. Financial literacy, so like some of the things I talked about earlier, understanding your paycheck and deductions and taxes, setting financial goals for yourself, building wealth, you know, making sure that you know how to improve your credit score, how to get your credit score. One of the, I think the most valuable things that you can get long-term from Focus Hope, besides the skills and the jobs, is just the fact that you will have a financial literacy coach that is assigned to you that doesn't just go away when you graduate. There's somebody who's going to be working with you, checking in with you, saying, hey, you know, how's this going? You know, if you created a plan to pay off some debt, you know, take advantage of having something like that for free, someone to help you meet your financial goals. I already talked about job placement assistance, but we have lifetime job placement assistance for graduates of our training program. So long as you do our training and successfully complete. I have graduates who completed 10 years ago who have been laid off or their company may be shut down, and they reach back out to Focus Hope and like, hey, you know, can you still help me find a job? And the answer is yes. As long as you send me that resume and you keep in touch, you know, we're going to be sharing job opportunities with you. And there's so many employers who want to hire Focus Hope graduates who call or email or text us on a daily basis like, hey, do you have any resumes? Do you have any interested people? So certainly, you know, that is something that will be beneficial to you, you know, even as you go forward in your career and you start looking, you know, now I've got some experience under my belt. I want to, you know, qualify for higher paying jobs. We can help you build your resume. You know, that's built into our classes, but something that is available on a continuing basis as you need to make updates and you know, you find that you want to include different skill sets. You know, we certainly encourage people to keep in contact with us even after you graduate. We do what we call our job club, which is something that we right now are offering virtually. But during job club, these are some of the things that we talk about. So we do mock interviews to help you prepare. We go through different scenarios, whether it be, you know, an in-person interview, a virtual interview, a phone interview, how to prepare, you know, how to answer questions that are contextualized to, you know, the positions that you're interviewing for. We also will bring employers in, you know, to talk to you guys about opportunities that they have. That's what we call our employer pairing. So we're not, you know, graduating a class of 20 people and sending them all to the same employer. We're trying to make sure that the employer that you're paired with is someone who is in alignment with your career goals. And so really they're coming to present to you, to talk to you about their company and their culture so that you can decide if it is a good fit for you. And so, you know, there's a lot of different supportive services that Focus Hope offers to you once you are a student, as well as a graduate. And so, you know, as we're sitting here and we're talking about, you know, what are the requirements? You know, we mentioned that there is an entrance assessment. I know that can be something that scares off a lot of people. They think, oh, you know, I haven't been in school for years. You know, I don't know if I can pass a reading and math test. And that's when I, you know, remind everybody it's just an assessment to see where you're at. You know, we're willing to meet you at whatever level, provide resources. We have study guides that are tailored to the test that you take. So after you take that assessment once, if you don't score at, you know, the level that is required, we can do tutoring, you know, that we have some references for tutoring that we can share with you. We have study guides and you can take the assessment multiple times. And so we really just want to remove as many barriers as possible to get you into this training so that you can be within, you know, 15 weeks or less in some situations onto your career and actually, you know, making a living wage with something that offers opportunities for growth. And then finally, I just want to talk to you about, I am on a team of 3. Again, my name is Lynn Zamora, and my colleagues, Tasha Lord and Tamika Johnson, are our workforce development specialist team. So once you come on board and fill out an application, you'll be assigned to one of us who's going to work with you every step of the way to get you enrolled, ready to start class and prepared, and really just set up for success. And so as you go through your course, we're going to be basically your cheerleaders and we call it your training BFF, because we're going to be in contact quite a lot to make sure that you are doing well in your class, that your needs are being met, that you are able to, as much as we can, remove any barriers or concerns that you've had to be able to, be successful in training and in work. And so this is the team. So finally, we already touched on this, but just what you'll need to enroll. The CASAS assessment will be the first step. Eventually, you will do a drug screen. You'll turn in some documents like your ID, social security card, diploma or GED, your birth certificate. We like to mention this up front because we know a lot of times people may have these documents up in storage and they have to go dig them out. So this is kind of your little reminder that as you get enrolled in a training program, these are going to be some documents that we'll need copies of. So you want to make sure you have those available. And then finally, I don't know if we have anyone, I know we're recording this meeting, I don't know if we have anyone else on the call, but I'd like to open it up to any questions that anyone may have about the training programs that we've talked about today.
We have a couple of questions in chat. The first
Okay.
one was, are there any girls in the program?
Yes, so these programs are not gender specific. So we definitely have a good amount of women who participate in our training as well. So, and we encourage women to participate in, some of these trainings that have historically been more male dominated. And so I wouldn't want that to be, someone saying, oh, are there any other women in the class? Yep, absolutely. If you come and participate, I don't think we'll have any classes where you would be the only.
The next question was, when you complete the program, are you given a job?
So when you complete the program, you'll be a part of what we call, our graduate, our alumni who we say we move to the placement phase. So I always tell people that when you graduate, we could never guarantee that you are going to get a job because it depends upon your participation. And so you will absolutely interview once you graduate the program. It is up to the individual who's graduated to actually apply the skills that are being learned, pass your interview, get selected. It's not a guarantee that when you leave this program, you're going to immediately be placed into a job, because of all the employers that we work with, that's why the employer pairing portion is so important. We're trying to get to know you on a personal level, understand what your career goals are, and pair you with employers that are in alignment with what your career goal is. Since there's so many different job titles and job opportunities that you could be qualified for instance, if you want to be a CNC machine operator versus someone who wants to do forklift operation, in a warehousing type position. So no, you're not going to immediately be placed into a position once you graduate. You're going to be given options with different employers that we work with who are seeking our graduates to interview with them. And I also, want to be clear, you are not obligated in any way to accept employment with an employer that Focus Hope works with. You, of course, can find, your own employment opportunities, but we want to give you as many opportunities as possible with people who are desperately seeking those that have Focus Hope graduates' particular skill set.
Then the last question they had asked was, do you need a computer background in order to participate in the IT program?
That's a good question. No, you don't need to have a background working with computers. You just need to have basic comfortability with utilizing a laptop or PC, because that's the training is going to be based right now online. So we've had people with absolutely no IT background whatsoever do the program and be very successful. It starts out at a basic level, but you do have to know, for instance, how to navigate online. So you have to know how to, open up a web browser, access an email. You don't have to be a guru or a whiz with a computer to do the training. Just the very basic comfortability so that you could do an online-based training program. And we'll provide a lot of the assistance along the way with getting you comfortable using the Focus Hope application. So for instance, right now we're on a Zoom call to do this informational session. We use a similar platform called Microsoft Teams, which is more, it meets more of our needs as an educational provider to do our classes virtually. We also use Office 365, and so we'll train you up in those, in any of the software that you would need to use or any of the applications. You would just want to have a basic comfortability with operating a computer.
Good deal. I have a couple of questions, Lynn.
Sure.
First is, so no matter which program you're offering, none of them are any cost to the students, correct?
That's correct. These
If
programs are free.
so, there is no situation where someone coming to enroll in your program would have to pay for anything.
No. Yeah, I just do want to be clear with that. No students pay for the training at Focus Hope.
Okay.
We work to get students fully funded, and it'll be dependent upon the training that they do. There's no out-of-pocket cost for books, for materials, anything of that nature. We will provide to you a loan device, so a laptop with the specs required for the training that you're going to do. We just need the computer to be equipped with Windows 10, and then for the manufacturing cohorts, they would need to be, there's some software for the simulations that you'll do in manufacturing. And so we'll make sure that you have that. We also have resources for low-cost internet for those that need it. And so these are some of the things that we would talk about if anybody had any questions or concerns about whether or not they could do the online course. So there's no out-of-pocket cost for the materials, for the training, or anything associated with it.
Good deal. And then the next question I had was, is there an ability for a student to receive like tutoring through difficult portions of their programming?
Yeah, so I think one of the most helpful things that we have learned through doing these online trainings is that there has to be a lot of attention to whether someone is able to be picking up the information that is being shared and actually apply it. And so while you'll receive progress reports usually with every segment of training that you do, so every 5-week segment. For the shorter training programs, it might be every 2 weeks. So as we're checking for understanding and keeping up with the content of the training, if we find that a student is struggling in any of the subjects, or they even just reach out to like myself as a specialist and say, I'm struggling with some of the concepts covered within this portion, we set you up with tutoring. So you'll tutor with your instructors. If you find that you're falling a little bit behind, or you're not able to pick up the concepts as quickly as you need to. So certainly something that a student could look forward to is if you're going through the training and you find yourself struggling, you can do tutoring with your instructors to get you back up to speed and where you need to be. And then obviously as we go through, we reassess for understanding to make sure that you're prepared to be taking any of the certification exams that are associated with your training.
Good deal. And then, so you pretty much have 100% success rate.
Yeah, for those who participate and for those who see it through to the end, we're willing to work with you. The only this is what I try and stress to anybody who's thinking about coming into training and whether or not this is the right opportunity for them. Since there's no out-of-pocket cost and you're not taking out any kind of a loan for this training, the only thing that you are putting into this is your time and your effort. So if you're willing to put in the time and the effort needed to be successful, we're going to meet you where you're at.
Okay.
And do everything that we can to make sure that you're able to successfully complete. Because our goal is always, if we have 25 students start, we want to have 25 graduates. So as long as you're willing to see it through, we're willing to work with you.
That's great. That's great. So when students complete their programming, Around what salary range are they expected to enter the workforce earning?
So it depends on the program. So for instance, with the IT, it's usually 16 to 17. With manufacturing, as well as really with all of the training programs, if you have a background working in the field, you can demand obviously higher pay because of your work history, but you could be making, 14 to $15 if you're someone who's deciding that you want to maybe work in warehousing and forklift operation. But if you decide to go down the route of being, CNC machine operator, robotics technician, those types of fields, you'd be making 17, 18. We do have graduates of our training programs who are making much more in both manufacturing and IT, making $20, $25 an hour
Wow.
with just a little bit of experience on their resume. And so that's why I encourage everybody, even if you're starting out at like that $15 an hour, see, and this is maybe your first job or your first post-graduation employment that you're looking at, you'll be surprised how once you get a year, maybe 6 months to a year of experience on your resume, coupled with the credentials that you get, the hiring potential that you'll see. With the CDL trucking program, once you complete, getting your CDL A license upgrade and you go into driving, you usually will be making 45,000. I've heard 45,000 is the low end, and then 60,000 might be the high end. But with the entrepreneurship training to becoming an owner operator small business, you could be making 100 to 150,000. For the construction trade, it'll start off at about $17 an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's definitely some opportunity to make really good money in these fields. And if you have prior experience, fantastic. That'll just demand you a higher pay rate.
Good deal. And is the carpentry school that you're partnered with the unionized the Brotherhood of Carpentry and Millwrights?
I'll have to check on that, which is the carpentry school that we work with, because it is such a new program that we are offering. But certainly, if someone's listening to that and they're interested in construction, if I can't get you the information today, I believe the next slide, if not, I'll enter it. We'll have my contact information. And I know that this session is recorded. And so if there's any questions anybody has that I wasn't able to answer today, I'll give my direct cell number so that you can reach out, because I'd be happy to talk more in depth with anyone who has questions that may be a little bit, off the record or off the, what we've covered today.
Sure. Good deal.
Let me go ahead and I will update this slide real quick to include my number so that it'll be on here. And so I'm just sharing this again so that if anybody's watching this and wants to screenshot or take it down, my number is 313-670-1474. Again, my name is Lynn Zamora. We're waiting on you. So give me a call, send us an email. I'm at our admissions. This is our interest form. You don't have to fill that out, because if you give me a call, since we're so virtual now, I'll send you our full application. But other than that, thank you so much for taking the time to hear this information. I hope to talk with you soon. Again, I encourage everybody who is watching this or watches this playback from the recording, share this information, spread this information around, because, these are great free career opportunities that only cost you your time. And slots do fill up pretty quickly because we offer small classes. So you're not going to be in a class with like 50 other people competing for your instructor's attention. You'll be looking at a classroom of 25 people max in these virtual classes, and some of them in the hybrid classes. So, this is the time to take advantage of this opportunity to advance your career. So if you're stagnant, or you're, whether you're someone who's 18 years old and you're just starting out, or you're someone in their 40s who's looking to revamp their skill set, get some credentials behind their name to get higher earning potential, this is an opportunity that you'd want to take advantage of. So thank you so much. And thank you, Tony, for having me so that I can share this information with hopefully as many people as possible.
Thank you so much, Lynn. Thank you so much for your time. Everybody, thanks for joining, and everybody have a great day.
Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye.